We are now beginning Precept 2, the second lesson. It's all about Shakti. And so I wanted to start by explaining what Shakti is. Shakti refers to energy, the life force energy in your body. And so there's this process that occurs at every level of our existence. Everything that we experience is a modification of a previously existing state. It's some form of energy. Light is energy, sound is energy, movement is energy, heat is energy, thought is energy, even matter is energy, because it's made up of atoms, and atoms are made up of positive and neutral energies we call protons and neutrons, and the valence field, or electrons around it, the negative. So we have positive and negative. We have latent potential and patent expression. We have what could be, we'll call, which is called in India Shiva. Shiva is the provider of all existence, the latent potential or the consciousness itself. And then there's how the divine expresses itself, which is what we can see, which is Shakti. It's energy, it's the Big Bang. It's an exploding universe, an exploding galaxy, an exploding star. It's the life that's existing on all the planets and all the moons. It's the life force flowing through you and me. Shakti is flowing through everyone, everywhere, all the time. But most of the time, we're not really connected with it. So our training today is very much like a Jedi training, where you are learning to use the force. The force that's moving through nature is the force that's moving and guiding you too. You're a part of a greater system of organizing intelligence. So part of what we're doing is developing our own intelligence, developing our own awareness, becoming more conscious of our consciousness. And the other part of this work is to develop this connection and this energy and bring it out from within ourselves. Let that light shine brighter, which is your enlightenment. So let's begin by taking a deep breath, and I want to invite you to find a comfortable place to sit where you won't be distracted or disturbed. And you want to sit up straight when you're meditating. You don't want to slump. You don't have to necessarily cross your legs or sit in the Padma Asana, strictly speaking. If you can do that, that's great. But the idea is that your spine is straight and that you're comfortable and that you're balanced. So just find that comfortable space, both physically and then mentally, like the room around you. There's no more distractions. There's no animals or activities that can get in the way. You can really focus on this present moment and on the presence of the divine in this moment and feel the Shakti moving through you. So take a deep breath and close your eyes for a moment. And I want to invite you to unbutton your mind and unzip your fears and resistance and any negative feelings. Just kind of step out of the garment of yourself, your physical being and emotions and mind. And as spirit, let's imagine we're stepping into this hot bubbling jacuzzi or a hot tub, and we can just soak in the feeling, soak in the love, soak in the spirit that is present within us and around us in everything, everywhere, all the time. Gentle breath in. So Shiva is the latent potential. Shakti is the patent expression, from latent potential to patent expression, from 0 to 1. And that which is coming out and becomes differentiated is the positive. The relationship back to the source is the negative. So you've got positive, negative, central pedal, central fugal, expansive, contractive, yin and yang, yang expanding, yin contracting. In the sense of the atom, when we look at the hadron or the gluon, we look at a direction of potentiality that is coming into manifestation. We're looking at something beginning to form, and then it becomes what we call a quark. It's spinning one way or the other. These energy fields develop to become more inherently positive or negative. We see these as different configurations of positive protons or negatives, electrons. So we see this at the atomic level within ourselves. There's this expansion and contraction at the core of our being, and then around our whole body, there's a positive and a negative energy field in our body. Around the earth, there's a positive pole in the north and negative charge in the south, and an electromagnetic field around the earth. So as you breathe in, let's connect with that energy again. Just feel that life force or prana being drawn in through the nostrils, absorbed through the septum, And there are two channels that run down the sides of your spine, nerve ganglia. In the East, we call it the Inda and the Pingala, or the sun and the moon, the positive, the negative. So the negative comes down one side, the positive down the right. And as they meet at the base of the spine and the nerve ganglia there, that place where the energy comes around is called a chakra. That's what chakra means. In Sanskrit, the word chakra means wheel. So your body has a polarity. The right side is generally more positive, the left side generally more negative. And that can be reversed for various reasons. But down in the area where this nerve ganglia is, and your root energy is the sexual energy, the kundalini energy. So when these two energies come together and they meet, they form a primordial life force current. And just like one energy may come into your home, let's say 220 volts, it's going to need to be transformed to probably 110 volts, and from there to different voltages for your refrigerator or your computer or your light bulb. Whatever use that energy is needed for, it needs to be converted. In your body, it's the same thing. You have a primordial life force current flowing through you. We call this the Kundalini Shakti. And this life force, you're drawing in from many sources, but as you breathe, you're drawing in the positive, the negative, and then it comes together in the root ganglia at the base of the spine, we call Muladhara. And it moves from the right side, and the right either ovary or testicle, the endocrine gland associated with this part of the body, and it moves to the other side, the negative, and from negative to positive and positive to negative, around and around like a wheel, which is what chakra means. So from this root center, we get the primordial life force energy, the physical strength of our body, the procreative energy, the sexual energy, the energy that sustains life and creates life and gives birth to life. So you see the hormones of testosterone and estrogen, for instance, being developed in this area, which helps develop physical strength, in the case of testosterone, and estrogen in case of the menstrual cycle, and the birthing of children. The gestation period, all this energy moving through is created in this chakra, we say, or in this energy vortex within the body that's associated with the endocrine glands. So the first one is the ovaries and the testicles and Muladhara. Then it moves up. And as it moves up, it moves into a different gradient. The second level is called Svadhisthana. So as you're sitting there, just imagine this energy now moving. And let's think of the energy in the root center as maybe a red energy. And just squeeze your anus for a minute. Just squeeze so you get a sense of where your perineum is and the nerves and the muscles at the tip of the tailbone. So imagine there's a little light bulb, a little red light bulb screwed into your tailbone. And just see this red light down there. And now this light or kundalini, life force, is going to very gently and naturally begin to move up from the first center into the second, Svadhisthana. And this is associated with the adrenal glands, which are sometimes actually located a little bit higher up. But it's this center down here, just below the belly button. And this associates with your emotions and senses and feelings. And you sense that, don't you? Your emotions, you kind of feel down in your gut. We even say we have a gut feeling. And when we look at the adrenal glands, which are sitting right on top of your kidneys back here, these are like the spark plugs for your body, and they help regulate emotional responses. Like adrenaline is one of the hormones that is created in your adrenal glands. That's your fight or flight response, an emotional reaction that you kick into gear with. And this whole system works together at an emotional level. So everyone breathe into your belly, as this is a meditation, and we're sitting in this jacuzzi of consciousness and just enjoying the warm, bubbly feeling and the camaraderie. I want to invite you to breathe out and let go. And just feel yourself settling into a peaceful, calm state. Go ahead and roll your eyes up and gaze into your mind's eye. Close your eyes for a minute. And then bring the energy out from Svadhisthana. Feel it moving up the vertebral column, your spinal column, up into this plexus, the navel plexus, above the belly button and below the sternum. And this is your Manipuram. It corresponds with the pancreas and the spleen. And of course, the pancreas is regulating your blood sugar level and your insulin. And this will affect your state of mind. So this is considered the mental. So we're moving now from the red to the orange, and this would be more of a yellow color if you wanted to assign a color to it. But just be aware of this part of your body above the belly button and just breathe into this area. Because sometimes just breathing into this area, if there's something blocked or stuck, can help open it up. So where you put your attention, energy follows. So put your attention right here in this third chakra, Manipuram, breathe in, feel the yellow opening up. And it just kind of opens you up, doesn't it? Now, most of us live most of our life in these lower centers. We have an awareness of our physical needs and our emotions and what our mind is doing, at least to some degree. As we continue to move the energy up into the heart center, or anahat, this is associated with the thymus gland, but it's also associated with the source of life itself in your body, and of course, love. So I want you to breathe in now and bring your hands up into the air like we did in the last class. So first you've connected with the life force in your own body, as we're doing now in your Kundalini. And we can be aware of the life force energies flowing through the earth and around us. And as we're breathing in, we're absorbing that life force energy. And so you're connecting with all this. And now I'm joining you energetically. And this energy is moving into your body and into your mind, and it's beginning to shift you. I want you to see if you can feel yourself lifting up into a higher level, into a higher calibrated level of consciousness. Just breathe in and feel the energy moving in to your hands and down your arms, into your heart. And I'd just like to say a little prayer. Lord, help me to be a pure vehicle for your love and light and wisdom. And now as you breathe out, feel that energy extending out of you. Matter of fact, you might just imagine imagine we're sitting in a hot tub, which is kind of fun to begin with. We're just in a natural place, and just there's a warmth and a camaraderie, a fellowship of the spirit. And now there's this love flowing through. Let it in. Let it flow through. Breathe in and open your heart just a little bit more. So you're kind of stretching your capacity to feel this feeling and this love and join with me in this state. And now as you breathe out, let the energy pass out through you, like your aura was expanding maybe 3 feet around you. Again, breathe in and absorb like a sponge. And now open your eyes as you're feeling the energy in your hands and it's conducting in your body. Open your eyes and gaze into my eyes. So all this energy, I'm just passing energy, so my field is entering into your field, and we're sharing energy. Kind of like when you share music or just a good vibe with somebody. You share love. Essentially, I'm sending love with you, a divine love. So allow yourself to be loved. Take a deep breath and let that feeling move down your arms into your heart. Go ahead and come around again. Shift your focus back to your third eye, and then take that right hand that should be pretty charged up and just touch this point between your eyebrows. Just gaze into your mind's eye. Close your eyes and gaze into your mind's eye as you're touching your third eye. So the magnetism again is activating that third eye. And bring your hand back down. So we were bringing the energy up to the first chakra, then the second chakra, then the third. Well, and we jumped over to the third eye, but there's one more we don't want to forget, and that's Vishuddha. That's the point at the base of your throat. And this corresponds with your thyroid and parathyroid. So I want you to go into your throat center. So the heart center is the thymus gland, the throat center is the thyroid and the parathyroids, and they are paired. There's really two sides of it. So the energy goes from left to right, right to left, again, forming a wheel, spinning round and round. So there's all these little energy vortexes moving as we go up the spine. And these are what the yogis call chakras. We call the endocrine system. And there's a gross physical outer layer to it that corresponds with basically neurological activity, and there's also a chemical component. Different kinds of hormonal reactions are occurring, and a hormone is essentially a chemically encoded signal formed by the wave pattern moving through it. So everyone, take a deep breath and open your heart and connect with the life force energy in your nervous system, in your chi, in the electromagnetic fields around your body, gazing into your third eye, and now just let go. And your throat centers open up. This would be more of a turquoise. If your heart was green, some people would think of pink if they're healing. But if you go up the rainbow of colors, it would be green. And then your thyroid, if it helps you can use turquoise or aquamarine. You can tap that point if you want help focusing there. And now let's go up to the third eye and just galvanize your focus at that point. That's your light switch. Remember, that's like the on switch. As you flick that on, energy begins to flow. The Kundalini is moving up the spine more efficiently now. So just like in your wall, there's electricity flowing, but when you toggle the switch up, it moves into the device, say, your light or computer or whatever you got to turn on, right? So as you look at your third eye, you're turning on your life force. You're plugging in, and the more you plug in, the more plugged in you'll be, simply speaking. So gaze into your mind's eye, and now this Ajna chakra, or Tisra Til, or third eye, whatever you want to call it, because it's kind of between the two eyes. They call it the third eye for an obvious reason. You've seen the pictures of the Buddha or Shiva, or people in the Hindu culture often have a dot here. And this is representing the mind's eye, the transcendence over the mind to a greater sense awareness, the sense of who you are and why you were born. So there's actually a transcendence of consciousness that occurs at an endocrine level. Because right behind this point is your pituitary gland, and behind it is the pineal gland, and they release different peptides. So as you're gazing into your mind's eye, as you are right now, what's happening is you're releasing peptides and other hormones that are creating a relaxation response, like a natural biofeedback mechanism. So as you're listening to me and you're meditating and you're hearing the sound of my voice and all this energy is passing from me to you, you can feel the shift. The energy's coming up, and as it moves up from the third eye into the brain above it, it's like that 1,000-petaled lotus opening up. It goes into the hypothalamus, which is right in the center of your brain, which serves as the center of the flower petal, you might say, in the very center of the flower. And then the axons and dendrites, all the nerve fibers in your brain that are coming together, they're pulled together through the corpus callosum, and they move into the neocortex, and then they move back into the whole sympathetic nervous system. So as you're engaging this feeling, you're connecting to the source of life itself within you that is you. You are the life force. Without it, you'd be dead. So until you really connect with yourself, you don't know yourself. You're simply a bunch of programming operating based on your conditioning. But once you awaken and open this third eye, you begin to see, you begin to transcend, you begin to become empowered and overcome limiting beliefs and fears and all the things that have kept you from being happy and at peace. The happiness and the peace is right here just waiting for you. And this is the gateway to find it. So take a deep breath, and maybe now open your eyes and gaze into my eyes again. We'll try some eye gazing, or sharing the Shakti pot through the eyes. And what happens now is we're connecting spirit to spirit and soul to soul. I'm just sharing the love with you, man. I feel this connection with God, and I want you to be with me. Whether we're singing together or hugging or just taking a walk, whatever way, as friends, or if I can be your guru or your teacher or a guide in any way I can help you, I want to. I want you to feel what I'm feeling. But love is profound. There's a reason that people have sought enlightenment around the world for thousands of years. It's better than you can imagine. Breathe in and allow yourself to receive. And now close your eyes and dissolve into the feeling. And so what happens now is the energy begins to move from the third eye, and it branches out like a 1,000-petal lotus, or maybe like an oak tree. If you can imagine the trunk of a mighty oak and all the branches extending out, and from there the twigs until the leaves at the very end form a dome. Well, in your cranium you have this dome, and it's filled with your neocortex, which is that spongy-like material. It's filled with neurons, brain cells. This is where you store all the information. In the middle of your brain is what's called the limbic system, your basic functions, like a lizard would have. Around that, or I should say the reptilian brain, around that is the limbic system, which is the emotional response. And then moving out farther are the cognitive responses. And as we've developed over the centuries, our brains have gotten bigger and more developed. But this part of the very top of the brain is now beginning to awaken. Because as you engage this feeling at the point between the eyebrows and you turn the light on, so to speak, you're actually pulling the Kundalini Shakti, or life force energy, up to the top of your head that is actually beginning to wake up or develop this part of your brain. So the little branches that stick out of the neurons actually form connections. They're called synaptic connections. So the dendrites work together. That's called dendritic branching. So there's a science to this. You're actually physically developing a sixth sense, a greater capacity to be aware, an ability to take conscious control over your mind and senses, and understand the nature of yourself, the nature of the universe, and thus work together with it and find harmony with it. So as we all awaken this sixth sense, we begin to integrate into the organizing intelligence of the universe itself. So if you just think about Star Wars as a fun example, and you think of the Jedis that have this ability to tune into the Force, and some kind of power seems to move through them, and they seem to have this psychic awareness and know things that are happening and be able to work with this force, which is really just nature or really just spirit. But they've learned how that subtle energy works. Well, you're learning how that subtle energy works too. So everyone take a deep breath, close your eyes, gaze into your mind's eye, and just observe your body. Let's meditate on the body. Just imagine the gravity, the weight of your body, the mass, and all the cells, which are ultimately energy. And there's energy flowing through your nervous system and through your chi and through electromagnetic fields. But there's also bone and ligaments and tendons and muscles and fascia and skin. And there's all these organs, all these systems working, all this brain like a massive computer processing data. So just be aware of all this physical energy moving through your body. Connect to the source of life itself within you. And now observe that part of you that is observing that. What is that can observe the energy? What is that can observe the state you're in? What is that can observe your own mind? What you're seeing or hearing, what you're processing, what your mind is remembering? What part of you can discern whether you understand what I'm saying or not, or to what degree you do? I want to invite you to observe that part of you that can observe what you're thinking. Observe now the observer observing. So now this is a very, very powerful exercise, but it takes some practice. It takes you being able to watch your mind, to step back from your mind and become the witness or the observer. In the next class, we're going to focus on that subject. But right now, I want you to focus on the feeling in your body, to feel the life force that you are. Feel how spirit is actually providing life in your body. So you can think of spirit as the electricity in a way, and your soul as the imprint or the way the energy's been conditioned to work in the body. The body is the housing, like the light bulb, and then your consciousness can express through your body. And how does consciousness express through your body? How is that energy expressed? Through what you think and say and do. And isn't what you think indicative of your state of consciousness? What you're thinking and what you're feeling is an expression of your consciousness. And what you're saying and what you're doing is an expression of what you're thinking and feeling. So all these develop to a higher level to the degree that you connect to the source of life itself within you. You become conscious of what state you're in, and then you can consciously move your awareness to a higher state by being the witness, by being aware of what your mind is doing. For you are not your mind. You are the spirit. You are the consciousness itself. And so the more conscious you become of how conscious you are, the more this consciousness develops. And the more conscious you are, the happier you are. So you have everything to gain by becoming more conscious. And in this process, you begin to overcome all these things that have kept you back. Any limiting beliefs, any fears. Now you can just look at them and you begin to see them for what they are. Nothing but mental programming that you don't need anymore. And over the next few lessons, you're going to keep getting more tools to rewrite or reprogram your brain, including the use of NLP and hypnosis, mind mapping, knowing how to create new thought forms, how to develop a greater attractor field. So as you take an intention and put energy behind it, that energy is literally broadcast out of your body. And so whatever intention that you want to attract into your life, all of a sudden opportunities come. All of a sudden things come to you. You connect at another level, the level we call psychic. And you tune into it better because you've developed that psychic awareness. So now there's that intuition to go talk to that person or follow up with a call or an email. And all of a sudden you're being guided. Well, what just happened? There's actually a science to it. Like I said, your body's an antenna and you can pick up different transmissions. You begin to feel, no, I don't want to go to that energy. That energy doesn't feel good or right. I'm feeling to go over here, and over there opportunities lie. So this is what you're learning, how to tune into these subtle flows of attraction and repulsion, how to attune your antenna, how to tune into the subtle energies moving through you. How are they being directed within your mind? And is that what you want? Is there a better place to put them? And as you put your energy in a new direction, watch what happens. You begin to take control over your life. A whole new world opens up to you. The kingdom of heaven lies within us. So let's go there right now. Breathe in. And feel it in your nervous system. Feel it in your chi. Feel it in the electromagnetic fields all around your body. Just imagine your body electric. Now imagine the earth and imagine its electromagnetic fields. And breathe in and feel that electromagnetism being absorbed into your body. And then expand your awareness out through the moon, into the sun, into the solar system itself, because there's subtle energy fields that are coming to us from outside as well. And in fact, within the galaxy and the universe itself, there are fields within fields within fields, and they're all interconnected, and you're a part of this. So you can think of your individual self like a brain cell in God's body. So you look at the universe as a body of God. Your own physical body is like one cell within the body of God. We are one person within billions people, within trillions of life forms, and within untold numbers of planets around stars, around galaxies throughout the universe. So as you connect to that source of life itself within you that is you, you're connecting with your true self. Your mind is beginning to realize the true nature of the self. It thought you were someone else. It thought you were this human being, this person with these attributes, these wants, needs, and desires. And those are still there. But they're just imprints. They're simply conditions that have been laid into this computer we call the brain. So the neurons are like carbon-based chips. Instead of solder between the chips, we have axons and dendrites, nerve fibers that connect all these cells. And together, they create a collective memory. And those memories are actually physically located in different parts of your brain. And so we're going to learn mind mapping and how to direct our energy and how to shift energy patterns that we don't need, like fear and limiting beliefs and not feeling good about ourselves and so forth. See what we can learn from them, see what we can change, what is the new pattern that we wish to introduce. And all of a sudden you create a designer brain. All of a sudden you become smarter than you've ever been. All of a sudden you can remember things. All of a sudden different skill sets develop. You can actually tell your brain what you need it to do, and it will do as you tell it. That's a tremendous tool, and you're learning it right now. So everyone, breathe in and begin by connecting with the life force in your body. Feel it in your nervous system, feel it in your chi. Feel it in the electromagnetic fields around your body. And again now, feel it flowing between you and me. So put your hands up again. So in each class, we're going to have an exercise where we put our hands up, and you get used to feeling the energy, and that energy is going to keep growing. So as you have your hands up, maybe move your hands from side to side or make circles. And for some people, they connect with the Shakti better through sound. Through some, it's through sight. Through some, it's just through the heart. Through some, it's through their hands and their fingers, because you're used to feeling things in your hands. So as you move your hands from side to side, sweep up, or see if, like an antenna, you can pick up the vibration. And as you're inhaling, you're drawing that light down your arms into your heart, and your heart is expanding. So that's another way to give your body a subliminal suggestion that you're opening. And that's a very important part of the transmission, because I could be blasting you with energy, but if you're not receiving it, it like bounces off you. So it's a matter of you learning to tune in, like the old days when we had knobs on a radio, and you would have to tune the knob to get the station in really clear. I want you to breathe in and tune into the love that I'm sending to you and sharing. And breathe in and let it down through your arms into your heart, and let your heart open to receive it. That's the key. I'm just trying to show you the way as the Master showed me, as Jesus showed me, as Sai Baba showed me, as Vettatri Maharishi showed me, as Chunila Lahiri showed me, as Sri Shiva Bala Yogi showed me. I was so lucky to study with the world's greatest masters. And now I have the great opportunity to share this with you. So take it and enjoy it. Breathe in. And now again, close your eyes and bring your left hand down and take that right hand and bring it over. Feel the energy gathering at your fingertips. And go ahead and touch your third eye. Touch that point between the eyebrows. Just feel around with your middle finger and tap it there, or just place it there, or it could be your index finger. Generally, the middle finger is the best one. And just rub it. And what you're doing is you're passing electromagnetic energy into this point, which will help stimulate this point and activate the pituitary and activate the third eye and the endocrine response. So this is lowering our brainwave frequency. This is clearing our mind. This is drawing the Kundalini up. And more importantly than anything else, it's connecting us to Source itself. Because what happens is we keep deterring from Source. We keep going away from Source. As you breathe in, connect to the source of life within you that is you. Just put all your attention at the point between the eyebrows. Keep your eyes closed. And for the next few minutes, I want you to just go inward and let the energy be your guide. Follow that feeling down the corridors of your own mind like a homing beacon. The energy will guide you. Follow that feeling. Enjoy that feeling. Dissolve into the feeling. Open your eyes. How do you feel right now? Check in with the feeling. So when we close our eyes, we can connect at a very deep level. The more we can tune out outer distractions, the more we can focus on that connection. But now we want to bring that connection into our body, into our vision, into our hearing, into our thinking. You want to bring this awareness into the body-mind mechanism so that your brain and your body can adapt to this higher frequency and level of consciousness. It can recalibrate. So if you've been listening to AM radio your whole life, and then all of a sudden you get introduced to this whole bandwidth of frequencies, like FM, you're now learning to move up into these higher frequencies. And many of you listening to me now are already at a very high frequency. But no matter how high you are, we can always go greater. Any sense of physical presence can be purified to the infinite. So breathe in and let us intend that we are going to open ourselves to go a little bit higher now, to open our hearts. And as we breathe out, we completely let go. And just roll your eyes up and gaze into your mind's eye and dive into the feeling. Good. Observe what you're feeling. Turn your awareness around 180 degrees and allow your mind to behold that which you are. Thou art this. That which causes life within you is you. So as you breathe in, I want you just to acknowledge that life force energy and keep the connection with that life force energy, even as you are coming back into your body and integrating this, so this energy and awareness can integrate into the cellular memory of your body. So just take a deep breath and infuse your body with this sense and the awareness, this presence, the spirit that you are, like your mind is aware of the living presence within you. And the spirit within you is an extension of the Holy Spirit, which is an extension of God. So God's presence is alive within you, and this is what we've come to realize. And that's what the Shakti does. It opens us up to the realization of the spirit or life force that we are. That which causes life within you is you. So breathe in and realize this. Observe the feeling, and now observe the part of you that is observing that feeling. And then observe the observer observing. And as we complete the meditation, I want to invite you to take a minute to think of your life partner or closest friend and bless him or her. Bless your children and your parents and any pets and relatives and other friends and people you know on Facebook and other social media. Everyone you know, matter of fact, all your work associates and neighbors and all the people you've had difficult time with in your life. Just send them love. Matter of fact, let's send everybody in the world love. May the whole world live in happiness and peace. I mean, that's really why we're here. It's not just about us. It's about bringing this love into the world. We are the way shores. We're the ones that are to set the example and to bring our energy up so our energy then can bring this joy and peace into the whole world. May the whole world live in happiness and peace. Om Shalom. Amen. All right, so your assignment now will be to continue the meditation, to gaze into your third eye and just work through any monkey mind or aberrant behavior. If you find that your mind's not quieting in a silent meditation, just watch this presentation again and just keep watching it and let the energy keep soaking in and getting stronger and beefier and more level develop. And then the next thing I want to invite you to do is to continue with your journaling. You should have a book of some sort, not a digital book. I want you to get and a pen, the old-fashioned way, any way that works for you. And every day I want you to start taking notes on what you're learning, what your experiences are, and just like that letter to God or that idea of addressing what your needs are, what your desires are, what you need to attract, or what you need what you need help with. I want you to start keeping track of these things in this book. This will be like your captain's log in this journey we're taking, and it'll be a reference point for the rest of your life. It's going to help you develop the clarity you need to see clearly and to find your purpose and fulfill it and ultimately find happiness and peace. So start writing in your journal. Just things will come to you to write. One might be, what would you want to tell your brain? So first we kind of spoke to God in whatever way we chose to do that and got clear on our intentions and our commitment to this class, a commitment to the meditating, a commitment to our enlightenment, not to me, to yourself and to your Creator. And the next thing we're going to start doing is looking at what's showing up for us. What am I being tested in? What's coming up in my life that's keeping me from happiness? What are the areas of my life where I'm struggling or need help with? And start to make a note so you become conscious of what's going on in your mind, and not just the obvious things on the surface, but more of the subconscious and other aspects of what you're being tested on will become clearer the more you reflect on it. So the journaling becomes a self-reflection tool to help you become conscious of your own way of thinking. So find yourself a journal and a pen, and each day we'll have a different kind of assignment or thing we can write about. And the exercise will be to just connect to Source and just keep connecting. And it just gets better and better and better. God bless you.